All right, it is the 10th day of August, 2026. It's 9 a.m. We are in the Commissioner's Courtroom in the Aransas County Courthouse located at 308 North Live Oak, Rockport, Texas, 78382. And I call this a regular meeting to order. Please stand and join me with the invocation.
Dear God, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the opportunity to consider the business of the county. And we ask for your wisdom and guidance as we make decisions that affect not just the immediate, but the long-term health and welfare of this community. We thank you for the good weather that you've given us, and we appreciate any rain you might send our way. We thank you for the opportunity to serve, and we ask for your guidance always. And we pray all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Please join with the pledges.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Perfect. Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney?
Here.
Commissioner Casterline? Here. Commissioner Russo?
Here.
Commissioner Dupnick? Here. Judge Garza?
Here, we've got a full court. And at this time, we'll hear from citizens to be heard. Anybody sign up? I got one here. Well, I got two. One's not speaking. Did you want to read, Brad?
I can read it if you want. This is from Brad Brundrett with Griffin and Brundrett on South Pearl. And he is speaking for agenda item number 2, which will be the presentation from Chris Veach, Key Allegro Island Manager, about critical need for replacement or revetment of Reach 5. Okay. And his comments are in support. He is in support. I apologize for not being in attendance. As the Ward 3 rep for the city of Rockport, I support the county in any assistance they can provide Key Allegro in obtaining grant funding for Reach 5. I will help in working with the city to provide letters of support or other actions that I can do to help move this forward. Okay.
All right.
And then I'll get this to Misty.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. All right, presentations and proclamations. Item number 1 is a presentation and brief update from the Aransas Pathways Copano Cove Ranch Land Use Plan Subcommittee Chair, Steve Ferguson. Come on up, Steve. Great to see you. Good morning.
Sir. There we go. Talking about Copano Cove Ranch and an update from our Land Use Management Committee, Subcommittee. Again, thank you, Commissioners, for inviting me to speak with you today. I'm going to report both on the progress that we've made year to date and to share with you a framework that we've developed that can be used as we think about planning going forward. It's not a proposal, it's a framework for how we would think about, how the county could think about developing or planning for the future of that property. It's about a process, a disciplined process that encompasses long-term stewardship, consistent with the conservation easement, which is the document that governs the development or the land use management in Copano Cove. My presentation is organized around, seeing if I can do this right. There we go. Around 3 principles, or 3 purposes. 1, the governing requirements. 2, progress to date. And 3, a recommended framework for creating a land use management plan for Copano Cove. The key point here is the county can create a plan that can be implemented, not simply have a list of possible uses. And I want to emphasize 2 points. The first point is there are 3 players in this process. Obviously, Aransas County is one, the GLO is a second, but there's a third key player, and that's the North American Land Trust. We just call them NALT. NALT holds the conservation easement, which is the governing document for how that property can be used. It delineates what can be done, and it delineates what cannot be done. It's the legal framework around a property such as ours here. A conservation easement is really a land use management tool. It was established by the U.S. Treasury Department for the perpetual or permanent conservation and protection of the natural resources, the scenic values, ecological, and open space values of the property. Neither Aransas County nor GLO, either working by themselves or together, can do anything they want to there. That third party, the NALT, North American Land Trust, holds the title, holds the easement, the conservation easement. And they're, to some degree, have veto power of what we might do. Because it's a legal document that's been signed and approved by the Treasury Department. It lays out the requirements and restrictions for a conservation easement, and in a sense, its approval is very significant in the development of our land use plan. The second point is, this is a framework that we're recommending for you to think of for how this property can be developed, how Copano Cove land use plan can be developed. So again, 3 partners, the county, who's the property owner, GLA, DLO, and the North American Land Trust. The county owns the land, GLO is the funder, and NALT holds the conservation easement. There are 3 major,
Can I ask you a question?
yes, sir.
Now, I know there are 2 conservation easements, I believe, already on the property. Are you saying that there's one that covers the entirety of the property?
No, it doesn't, no, the entire property is, let's say it's just under 1,000 acres. The easement that the county owns is about 950 acres of that. There's 2 other easements that are on the property.
Right. Okay.
And perhaps that's something that the county would want to explore, what to do. Is there a way to get those other easements?
So,
But we're not talking about, I'm not here to
Right.
talk about that today, but we're just talking about the 950 acres that covers the county's
Okay.
easement.
so
John.
the county's easement would be subservient from the North American Land Trust?
The county, North American Land Trust holds the easement. So they're a partner. The
Okay.
3 partners, the county, GLO, and
Okay.
the land trust.
Maybe I asked the wrong question. So if the county has 900 X number of acres that already has easement on it, the North American Land Trust easement would be superior to the county's easement?
No, the county doesn't hold the easement. The land trust holds the easement to the county's property. Does that make sense?
No.
No?
Okay.
It was in place before the land was purchased, and it was put in place for perpetuity. It is a little
Oh, so-
confusing.
So, right,
So it's senior because of time?
it's senior because in 2018,
They turned it
the
over to the land trust?
original landowner, Rockport Properties,
Okay,
developed the easement through the Justice Department, and the North American Land Trust became the holder.
okay, and
Of that
so the
easement.
county then is the protector of that easement?
It's the
Correct.
protector of that easement.
Okay,
And that easement is really the controlling requirement for how that property is used. It's,
so
it's a sim-
5 years
you know-
from now, or 10 years from now, or whatever, somebody wants to come in and do a legitimate easement change, they would have to come to the county, and the county would have to go to get it changed, would have to go to the land trust to see if it's possible to change.
you'd have to go through the land trust and through the Justice Department.
Okay.
Because in the Justice Department provides the IRS, not Justice Department, Treasury Department provides to the IRS
Okay,
tax benefits for the landowner.
right. So we're just managers,
So we're the managers.
that's fine, okay.
And, this is the easement. It's about 47 pages, front and back here,
Okay.
of how the land, the purpose of the land, the purpose of the easement, and what the county can do or not do.
Okay,
It's the governing framework, or the controlling document for what can be done there.
okay.
And we'll talk more specifically about that in the rest of this presentation. So there are 3 entities: county, GLO, and the land trust. The conservation easement is not just one preference among the 3 entities. It really is the controlling legal and management requirements for evaluating how the land is used in the future. Just as an aside, when a conservation easement is first developed, there's an extensive report on what the condition is like on that property. So we have that from 2019 is when it was finished. It's probably 6 times the size of this document. When I first saw
But
that,
Steve, I think it's important for everyone, especially other commissioners, to know that the consulting firm is aware of that. They've reviewed that. The land use subcommittee is aware of that. I believe Renee has probably read it. I've read it myself. I can't quote it word for word, but we understand that whatever is proposed for that, the North American Land Trust oversees everything. So it has to be whatever will comply with whatever the easement requires.
and so it's a partnership, as
Right,
you
but
suggest.
I don't want to get bogged down in that because I know
Good.
you have other
Good, good.
information to
We
bring
understand.
forward.
Sure. So within the county's portion, the county's work is really designed for teamwork, with each of these entities playing a distinct role. The main thing to remember is, as you know, the Commissioner's Court holds the decision-making authority and responsibility. Y'all are the decision makers. The county staff performs their administrative duties, including the implementation of the plan once it's been developed. Triton performs the consulting firm that is developing the plan, is doing its contracted technical work, and the Land Use Management Subcommittee, a citizen advisory panel, offers advice based on its members' professional knowledge, experience, and the local knowledge that we have of the coastal Bend environment. The roles of these four entities are complementary. Please let me emphasize again, our subcommittee's role is advisory. It does not displace county authority. Again, we're an advisory panel. Our input, we think, can help strengthen the county's decisions, but it does not replace the county and its authority. So let me go back to February, when the Commissioners Court created the Land Use Planning Subcommittee, the action that it took that year. It appointed the committee, and let me just share with you just a few highlights of what kind of skill sets that we have. The 5 members, 1 member has over 30 years of professional land use management experience with the U.S. Natural Resources Conservation Service. Another has more than 50 years of experience as an environmental consultant and land use planner, principally along the Texas coast. 1 member earned a PhD in natural resources management and planning and spent a few years as a land use planner for the U.S. Forest Service. 3 of us, my 2 friends in the back here, Bill and Maureen, are all certified Texas Master Naturalists, and all of us are happy to call Aransas County our home, and we're thrilled to be and honored to be part of this committee. So once we were formed, our committee created this framework. The framework is for developing the land use management plan for Copano Cove. It's a framework. It's not the plan. The framework envisions we started by envisioning what would success look like 10 years from now, which we'll talk about in a moment. And we also defined 6 land use management principles that could guide the development of the plan. And then later we identified some of the environmental consulting firms that the county considered. One of those firms that we recommended was Triton Environmental Services Solutions.
Steve, the timer just sounded for the 15 minutes.
Okay, let me
Conclude.
conclude. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let me ask you a real quick question.
Yes, sir.
This is pretty involved. Should we have a workshop on this? I mean, this is a long-term, 1,000-acre thing that the county needs to deal with.
We have a consulting firm right now that is working on the land use plan, which they will then bring back in a draft form. I'm not sure, but I think the deadline, and Renee or Steve can probably correct me, is either late November or December that they have to finish that. And that will be brought to the court. But a lot of this that Steve is explaining has already taken place, and he was giving you an overview. But other than the fact that the consulting firm, which is a local firm, is working on it, there's not really much right now that needs our approval. It's in a process of being developed.
This was just an update.
Yeah.
It was an update. You've got my presentation. You can see that. I hope you'll see that we've added value, and I think we can continue to add value through our involvement going forward. So, thank you very
All right,
much.
thank you, Steve.
Thank you,
Appreciate
and thank
it.
you to your committee members who have worked with you and have showed up today,
Thank you.
9 o'clock in the morning.
Hey, Maureen. Hey, Bill. All right, now we got item number 2, presentation from Chris Beach, Key Allegro Island Manager, regarding critical need for replacement, revetment of Reach 5 along Bayshore Drive in Key Allegro. Morning, Chris.
Good morning. I'm Chris Veach. I work with the Key Allegro Homeowners Association. And I'd like to talk to you this morning about Reach 5. Good morning, Commissioners, Judge Garza. So the first slide shows Bayshore in its entirety along Key Allegro. In 2024, work was accomplished in Reach 1 at the entrance to the island, and Reach 6 and Reach 7 through a long-standing contract that finally got realized. I believe the funds initially came from BP oil spill.
I think so.
Anyway, that work was going on in 2024. During that time, the Stantec Engineering and Orion Construction were responsible for that job. Stantec engineers pointed out some incongruities in the existing rockwork in Reach 6 and 7, which was creating funneling of wave action back onto Bayshore. They suggested a fix for that. The bid came out at $149,000. Key Allegro did put in an ask to the county and to the city at that time for that additive rock work. We were turned down, and the Homeowners Association paid the $150 to shore up parts of 6 and 7. Reach 4 was completely reworked, demolition of a failed bulkhead system, and new rock work was put in. Additionally to the $149,000 that Key Allegro put up, we also did bulkhead work at Reach 1 and at Reach 7, which totaled about $160,000 as well. This slide shows Alberto, which took place during the rock work that we were having done in 2024. It shows the overtopping at Reach 5, directed a lot of wave energy across the road system and back into the canal system. Matter of fact, there was a large concrete and steel groin that was done in this work that ran about 150 feet perpendicular to the shoreline. It actually carried all the steel forms for that that were anchored down along the road system and put them in the canal behind Curlew Drive. So, and additionally, this stretch of road carries utilities, so electric, gas, water run parallel to that, and it's also the only egress point back off the island from the south end. This is another slide that shows washout along Reach 5. And this is another slide that shows typical overtopping. This occurred not even in a named storm, but this is the kind of wave energy that's coming over the top of the road there. Let's see. These took place, the first slide was washout from November 2024, and then this slide's actually from May of 2026. So, just to give you an idea of the amount of wave energy that's coming in. This was some results that Stantec provided to us that showed how far the water came up in Alberto. You got to remember, this storm was 500 miles away. There was really no wind associated with it, but the depression brought the waves up to plus 4.5, which is high for this part of the world. This is a typical cross-section of the work that was done in Reach 4, Reach 6, and Reach 7. In 4, they had to demo the existing bulkhead system that had failed, and that's how far they had to run the footers out into the bay to make everything work in conjunction with one another. It was a pretty expensive process just to do Reach 4. After the work was done in 2024, Key Allegro contracted with Stantec Engineering and asked them to deliver a set of solutions that we might be able to use in Reach 5. Of the 3 solutions they offered, this was the one that Key Allegro board thought was the best suited. So the existing bulkhead that's in Reach 5 was poured, I believe, in 2000. They have a 25-year lifespan about, with the kind of energy that system absorbs, but the engineering firm thought that it was in good enough shape to encapsulate into rockwork versus having to tear it apart and start over from scratch. That would be quite a cost savings in effort and material. They also came up with a cost assessment in $20-25. This is for a 1,200 foot long stretch of rock work. They thought it would cost about $3 million. That doesn't include cost of engineering, permitting, or any grant writing help. In the last few weeks, I reached back out to Stephanie Rogers, who was the engineer at Stantec at the time. I had a meeting with her and with Del Sol Consulting, which is a grant writing group. And upon further discussion, basically they said it would be great if you could get some sponsorship or association going with the county and or the city, because it just exposes Key Allegro to a greater assortment of possible grants for this. So that's my purpose today, is just to reach out to the county. I'm doing the same with the city through Brad Brundred, who was unable to make it this morning. And, we're looking to see if we can get engagement and proceed with some work along that stretch. Questions?
I would think that we would, the last job, we got a grant after Harvey, but those projects had some work done where they were deemed kind of shovel-ready, and that's one of the reasons that they qualified for the grant. I would assume that we'd have to have something like that come along again, or maybe some other grant, but.
Right. I think that, and I'm kind of a lay person at this, so you'll have to excuse me, but I think the avenue is to see if the city or the county will help in sponsorship of going forward with grant applications. I think that, Key Allegro is prepared to spend funds on initial engineering, which we've already done, to spend funds in participation with the county or the city towards grants. And that's the angle of our approach.
And that's basically what was done on the previous stuff that was done. We just used all the money that they had
Right.
granted us.
Yeah, that took 10 years to realize too. Hopefully we could do better than that on this round.
I guess this is one of 3 areas in the county that have the problem. When you say you only have one means of egress and ingress, Shell Ridge is in the maybe same shape, if not worse, because there's really no reinforcement along the shorelines. And then, of course, you know, Lamar Beach Road and this. So I guess one thing's when we come into it, we probably have to be looking at, I guess, number one, prioritizing the need, and then where we could get the win, whether, you know, where we can get the grant dollars and get the most for our dollars, I guess. But it's important, you're right, I mean, I understand that, because over the years, I've seen Key Allegro affected, you know, dramatically when the high waters have come in.
All right, Mr. Beach?
Well,
Nope.
I want to first respond to that. Yes, you're right. We have those three areas, and I will tell you that the road and bridge
We have
engine.
more than those three.
Well,
You
okay.
know,
Well, we certainly have those three, and yeah, others.
Bayside.
But the road and bridge engineer and I have been working with the Shell Ridge Road property owners, and we had a conference call last week, and we think we've come up with a resolution short-term, but they seem to be very pleased with it, and it's going to be of minimal cost to the county.
That's kind of off topic for what we're talking about right now.
Okay, then what I'd like to say is, we certainly, I think, could support any project that is going to improve the conditions of that breakwater out there. And working with the city, we can write letters of support, show that the county and the city are in favor of it. I'm glad to hear that the homeowners association is interested in really sort of leading that charge.
Very good. I guess in that case, I'll be in touch.
All right.
Thank you.
Sure.
And I'll reach out to the city too, and we'll try to get something going.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate y'all's time.
Thank you,
Mr.
Chris.
Beach. All right. Do I have a motion for the consent agenda to accept? the
So
consent?
move.
Second.
Got a motion and a second.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick? Judge Garza?
Aye, motion passes. Consent agenda is accepted. Item number 6.
I move to approve, I move to approve, order 0-10-2026, an order of the County of Aransas, Texas, prohibiting outdoor burning for a period up to 60 days.
I'll second that.
We've got a motion and a second.
So what is our score now?
So right now, our KDBI, it actually updates at 10, but it's 437, which is kind of high. We usually start looking at it when it gets to the high 300s. So it's 437. We got a little bit of rain last weekend, like countywide, and it went down 7 points, and the next day it went back up 13 points. So it's really up and down. I know we have some rain, sporadic rain around the county, but, you know, I mowed my lawn yesterday. It got kind of long, and all that dead grass that I mowed, I mean, that turns into fuel for a fire. I'm not grilling outside because of that. But, yeah, Commissioner's decision. Mike, what do you think? Do we have support of the fire chiefs?
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Morning.
So yes, so to answer your question, the fire chiefs are generally in support of it. But you're right about the KBDI, it's up and down. But I'll tell you one thing that we're seeing and the fire chiefs are concerned about is every afternoon, the humidity's dropping down into the low 60s and the wind picks up a little bit, and that is kind of the recipe for fires kicking off. So, you know, by later in the evening when the wind lays down, obviously we all feel better about it, but there is that kind of magic hour during the day that they're worried about right now. So, your call on what you want to do with it, but I would support a burn ban at this time.
And you said the chiefs are in support of it also?
Yes, sir. I had 2 out of 3 respond that they were in favor of it.
All right.
Thank you.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye, motion passes.
Move to approve the
I just said-
Texas Maritime Museum report for the second quarter of 2026.
Second that.
We got a motion and a second. Good morning.
Morning, Ashley.
Good morning. Be quick with this for you this morning. maybe. There we go. So this is our second quarter report for you guys, of course. For overall attendance, we have two separate categories that breaks into. So we have the registered museum visitors that come through the museum specifically, and that was 1,501 for the quarter. And then on event attendance, that is anything else we do. The special events, exhibit openings, camps are coming into play now. So that's where that 1,017 additional comes from, which brought us to just over 2,500 for the quarter in attendance overall. And then of those registered visitors, 1,296 stated that they came from 75 miles outside of Rockport. So that is 86% of our registered visitors for the quarter.
impressive.
So we're definitely seeing those summer tourists start to show up in this first quarter with summer months in it. So we were excited to see those numbers. That is up from the previous quarter. And then on registered as well for our heads and beds, you can see about 325 stated they had stayed for at least 4 nights, with a little over 200 saying 3 nights and a little over 200 saying for 2 nights. So definitely seeing an uptick in the tourism with those summer months kicking in. This would have been May and June included in this quarter. So we did start to see overall attendance go up and the numbers on those heads and beds go up as well. So that's pretty typical. The quarter we're in right now will also show a significant number for that with the summer tourism coming through. And then the registered guests in major metro areas in Texas, San Antonio is typically our highest. You can see it was a little over 15% came from San Antonio, with 10% from Houston. Not quite 5% from Austin. That is one of our lower numbers we see typically is the Austin area. And then 8.5% from Dallas, which is up. Only 9%, just over 9% were locals for the quarter coming through. So we are, seeing those people coming from out of town, checking out the museum while they're here in town for vacations.
I was amazed to see Dallas with such a high number compared
Yeah.
to Austin. So they're driving farther.
I know you would expect
Yeah,
Austin
good.
to be higher, but that we did see a significant jump in Dallas numbers with vacationers coming through. And then the 52%, that's of course other areas in Texas outside of those metro areas and out of state visitors, which we see a fair number of throughout the year. And just a quick look at our quarterly expenditures. Of course, the bulk of that is going to historical preservation. We've got a lot going on in that area right now, a lot of updates, a lot of new things coming. So keep an eye out. We'll be advertising all that as it's opening back up to everyone. A little bit to marketing and supplies, of course, for the quarter. Then on our social media marketing, we had a few things going on. We continue to do the historical post, and those usually get a fair bit of interest. And then we did revamp our memberships recently, so we've started advertising that, and we've seen an increase in that already thanks to the new membership plan that's been put in place. And then that last one you'll see in May, we started advertising camp registrations coming up. That's always a big hit. They fill up quite quickly, so. In our social media, we're sitting just over 29,000 followers. We had 230,000 views, 4,000 interactions on 108 posts for the quarter. So that's holding pretty steady for us. Then with our website, a little over 19,000 views from not quite 11,000 visitors, and 60% of those are direct visitors. So they are going directly to our site, which is impressive, I think, to see over half of our visits coming from people going directly to it. So they know what they're looking for. They didn't just stumble across us. So.
I wondered what that meant. Thank you.
Then, of course, we always like to give you a look at what's been going on in the quarter. As I said, camps kicked off. So our education director, Shelley, she does a 2-week camp for the ACE program out of Aransas Pass every summer. So that happened in June. And then the first weeks of Sea Camp and H2 Odyssey also took place in June. So that's always a fun and slightly chaotic time of year at the museum. So you can see some pictures of the fun things they do. She partners with a lot of other organizations in town for them to get some experiences they may not have otherwise. So it's always
On her broken leg.
yes.
broken
She
ankle.
was hobbling around with a scooter for camps this year after an injury. So she's braver than I am. And then just a few more pictures of that, including one of our part-time, Chris, there in the middle, showing the yard arm to kids. They always get a big kick out of that and seeing how it works and helping with it. So it was a fun, busy quarter for us, but we had some solid numbers, and I'm excited to see what the current quarter looks like as well.
The camps this weekend, or this summer that my kids went to, are just awesome. They
Yeah.
always are.
They
always
love
are.
it. They get very excited. Those camps, the registration fills up crazy fast. I think faster every year. They fill it up. They're excited. They know what's coming. So those are always a big hit.
Have they upped the age to 12 yet?
They have not. You're gonna have to talk to Shelley about that one.
I will.
All right. Any questions?
All right.
Thank you, Ashley.
Thank
Good work.
you.
Thank you. I've heard nothing but good things about the camps this summer.
Commissioner
Okay.
Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye, motion passes. I'm striking number 8. I should have did that at the beginning, but that one's not ready to be heard. Item number 9.
Move to approve a request for a variance on a county requirement that all newly subdivided lots front a paved roadway for the replat of 2011 Smith Road.
Second.
We've got a motion and a second. Good morning, Kat.
Good morning. The property owners are here. They're here because the county's subdivision order does require that newly subdivided lots front on a paved road. That is due to the colonia prevention laws that the state has. And we have in the past granted variances, or at least one variance I could find on Heather Drive, but under the condition, in this instance, because the paper roads are 40 feet wide, if the variance was to be granted, staff would request that the 10-foot from this be added, the 10-foot of frontage be added to each new lot in order to augment the 40-foot right-of-way, should, when the roads are eventually are adopted, hopefully. But the alternative would be to require that the roads be adopted first before the lot be subdivided.
And whenever we adopt the road, it needs to be paved.
Correct.
And we have to have an entrance onto the state highway.
It doesn't have to have an interest on, it depends on the road, as far as like the county right-of-way road adoption.
Well, Smith Road is about a third, perhaps a little more than a third of the way paved now. And the rest of it is not, a
Correct.
designated county road as such by the county. We haven't accepted it. So there's a big process to this. We have in the past not done this because of the problem that we've had with what we call flag lots. And because of that, I will make a motion that we do not approve this.
So, Kat, you have 2 lots, they front on 2 different road easements or?
Correct, and I do
whatever
want
it
to
would be.
clarify, it's not proposing a flag lot. It is proposing just cutting it clean in 2 to where one would front the unnamed and one would front the Smith Road, Paper Street.
Right, so there's no easement across either one of them to go to one right-of-way? They
Correct.
would need to open both roads going in to give access?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So would the county be clearing those roads, or would the homeowners be clearing those roads?
The county would not be clearing the right-of-way. If the variance was to be granted, then the homeowners and the property, the buyer for the potential new lot would be responsible for clearing the right-of-way for accessing the property for single-family home development.
Could I get a second from a motion?
There's already a motion.
There's already a motion.
Oh,
to
I'm
approve.
sorry. Yes, of course, I'm sorry. That roadway, we've been through this once before. Whenever we were trying to open the roadway up, if I remember correctly, it was Smith Road. It's been a long time ago. But again, we had probably where there was cattle running on that property, and it was a working ranch at the time. I don't think it is now, but we had cattle guards and other issues that were involved in it. But for us to take it on as a county road, first of all, we got to adopt it. Right now, I think it's just a right-of-way. It's just a paper road. So we'd have to adopt it, and it has to be adopted since there are no restrictions on like ponds or something like that that would prevent us from requiring the 60-foot, we'll need to have the 60-foot. And it has to be paved, and it has to be paved by the developer. And I like the property, I'd like to get that developed, but if we approve this the way it's written, then we're making a major change in what we've done in the past. And even though it's in my precinct now, I'd love to see that developed. We've got other areas that are long been on the list to get widened and paved that we've not been able to get progress on. And so that's the reason why I'm opposed to this.
If this was a private property and they were gonna, say, build a private road from Highway 35 to their home, would we approve the construction of everything?
In the past, we have, under the, like the Heather Drive was under the premise that it was a private road. That's also different in a few aspects. It's that particular subdivision is half in San Pat and half in Aransas, and also was not originally filed with Aransas County. And so that one had a few issues with it being adopted. And this one, to be fair, it does have a few issues with adoption. It does, as far as it being a 40-foot right-of-way, and it does require that additional 10-foot on either side to meet the 60-foot requirement. We do have permitting processes that would provide some ability to limit the Colonia potential. And the proposed land use is single-family home use, which I just want to make you all aware of that. That is the intention behind the subdivision.
But we aren't being asked at this time to accept these roads or create these roads.
Correct. That is correct. This is just the request about the variance on splitting this 4.5, almost 5-acre lot between the Smith Road access and the unnamed right-of-way access. Should the variance not be granted, at that point, then they would have to come back, we would have to revisit road adoption. And that is why we wanted to request the variance before visiting road adoption, because it is a very lengthy process and expensive process. But the property owners are here. If y'all have any questions about the variance request.
I think it's pretty plain.
Yeah, we don't have any
Anyway.
questions. Oh, we don't have any questions on it.
Okay. Nope. All right. Thank you.
Would they like
Well,
to speak?
Oh,
Y'all-
Yeah.
would y'all-
if
we
you like,
actually talked to our attorney, Nathan East, about this, and he suggested,
Oh, sorry.
Come on.
Yeah.
sorry, and he made a suggestion, instead of breaking it into just 2 plats, we have a contract, escrow contract for 2 acres, which left us the other partial 3. And he said, you just break the other 3 in half, and so we can maybe sell that later. So it'd be a replat of the whole 5 into 3 different plats.
But that's not what we're discussing today.
No, that's what we came for, is to get the variance. We were fine with the right-of-way staying what you call a paper road. We're not interested right at this point expanding the roads from 40 feet to 60. We just need the right-of-ways and the variances for the plat for this to move forward. That's been the whole crux of the problem is from the start, is people doesn't want to buy the whole 5, they just want a part of it.
We plan on living on the south end of the property.
Right, and that unnamed road is actually, would be 1865,
That's
FM
what it used to be
1865.
years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, but doesn't this say that you're going to agree to that 10-foot of frontage?
If it becomes necessary, yes, I don't have a problem with it myself. I understand the development. We're both real estate agents, and I'm from this area. I grew up here. Anyhow, I'm fine with that, but if it's something y'all don't want to do right now, that's fine by me also. We just need the approval for the variance. We'll put our own roadways out there to our properties to drive back and forth if.
Well, and since the variance request that I prepared for them was just splitting the lot into 2, if the request is for 3 lots, then that would need to be prepared for, that would impact the variance.
Well, we don't
request.
want to do that.
And we can
No.
put that off till later. It's not a necessary thing. It was just suggested by the attorney.
And I want you to understand this, not that I'm against that, because I'd like to see that whole area developed over there. But in the past, we've really did our best to cut back on what we call flag lots. And that's 2 lots that are served by one public road, and in some instances, not even a public road, but a right-of-way. And it's been my belief from the very beginning that we have that problem because we did not stand by our ordinances, or we didn't have those ordinances in the past whenever all this was doing. They were just developing it. And I've got a lot of that issue now that we have not paved the road, not accepted the road. We've sometimes accepted the right-of-way, but not accepted the road. And I just don't want somebody to get back and say, well, court said they changed, and, these people over here saying, well, ours is no different than theirs. I want us to be standard, whatever it is that we do, because I do want that area to develop.
Right.
And I realize that you can't afford to go in and develop all that area. That's not what I'm asking, or that's not what I'm saying. But that, basically, it would be a flag lot. If you split that up into 2 different lots, then that back one would be a flag lot unless you want to pay for 2 entrances with 2 separate roads.
The buyer who wants the north end is going to want us to put his own drive up to his property. And we're on the south end, we're going to do the same.
Where's he how's the drive going to be? I mean, is it going to go across your property too?
No, it's directly
So
off the
to come on
bypass
down
straight to the property.
To the other right of way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the land
yeah.
is north to south.
Yeah.
So he would be on the north end, and we'd be on the south
Yeah,
end.
and what you were talking about earlier, about the cattle being run back in there, that's all gone.
Yeah, that's all gone now. I know,
Yeah,
but
there's
I'm
still
just saying
a-
we've addressed this before.
Yeah, the property behind us, I don't know who owns that. He's actually come in and fenced it, put a new fence up. But he did it from the south end and not the north end. The old gate's still there, even though it's not in use, hasn't been in 10 years.
And how does the AEP right-of-way go through there? I didn't see that on there. Has AEP got a right-of-way through there?
I'm not sure, I'll have to check.
There are some highline wires there, but
We're behind big businesses. They're on
Yeah.
Right.
running.
yeah, they're actually putting,
There's 4-acre tracts
Yeah.
in front of us, 3-acre tracts, 4-acre
Yeah.
tracts, and one of them will be boat barns.
Yeah.
Another one is
Sure.
the old, a building where they restored, classic cars.
Right.
yeah,
We're
Yeah, I know
right-
where it
we're-
is.
we're
We're
right
behind them.
it. We're contiguous right behind that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we don't have the money to do a paved road.
No, I know, and see, that's the problem. That's the real problem.
But
you know,
we did get a letter from the, people from TechStot, and they said we could put caliche on there.
Or gravel or whatever material
Rock to
we
our-
can use. That is affordable. We've looked into that.
That's gonna run $79,000.
Yeah, I know.
But we have to have a way to go. We're trying to come back down here to
Yeah.
retire, and this is our
Right.
retirement.
Yeah, and the biggest problem of all of it is the plat problem. You can survey it off, but to get, what I understand, the 911, in case somebody needs to call for somebody, has to be replatted. So they get their own address and we get ours.
Now, does your plat on either side go to the highway, or is that a different piece of property?
That's a different piece of property. We're
So, see,
behind,
yeah.
we're behind all those frontage road, all that frontage property,
We're about 300 and something.
350 feet back.
From bypass 35.
Yeah,
It runs north to
That's
south,
a-
and the roads go east and west.
Cat,
Yeah.
that 10 foot of easement or right-of-way, was that just for that portion of their land only?
yeah.
No, sir, that would be, if the variance was to be granted because of the 40-foot right-of-ways, that would be what would be required for the frontage in order to augment that 40-foot right-of-way to hopefully reach the 60-foot wide right-of-way.
But both lots would be required to get
Right.
Yes, sir.
half of what it takes to make it 60.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Motion on the floor is to approve.
Commissioner Cheney,
Nay.
Commissioner Casterline,
Nay.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
I'm gonna go with nay. Nay?
and Judge Garza.
Aye. 3 ayes, I'm sorry, 2 ayes, 3 nays. Motion does not move forward. Item number 10.
Move to approve a petition from Cape Valero subdivision for the residents requesting removal of an accessory structure within the Aransas County right-of-way.
Second.
We got a motion and a second. Kat, good morning.
The Cape Valero HOA has requested that Aransas County Road and Bridge help with removing the accessory building at the front entrance on the second median. We've taken a look at it, and it does seem to be unsafe, and so, and it does look like something that could be done quickly in-house. It is something where, once it's removed, it will also provide for some additional locations for cluster mailboxes, which will be needed as the subdivision continues to be built out. But yep, that building has been there since the county accepted this right-of-way and accepted this property for maintenance. And so it is part of our responsibility, and so it's one of the reasons why we're recommending to go ahead and knock it down.
Yeah, there was a guard shack when Cape Valero was a private
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised in reading the document that we even accepted that, but I think it's necessary that we tear it down. I'm very familiar with that, and it's pretty much a nightmare, although the Road and Bridge Group does a good job out there.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye, motion passes. Thank you, Kat. Item number 11.
Move to approve proceeding with the bid process for commissary vendors for the detention center services.
I'll second that.
Good morning, Sheriff.
Morning. This is an item that was brought to our attention by Marcia and her group. It's been since 2019, I think, was the last time we went out for bids on that. We've used the same vendor since 2009, I think, but we just need the court permission to go back out for rebidding that and see if anybody's got an interest in giving us a proposal on it.
Yeah, I was surprised to see that we hadn't gone out for bids since 2019.
I think the recommendation, I think some people are looking at every 5 years.
Yeah.
So we've gone just beyond that. But last time, I think the jail told us they didn't get but one bid from the same vendor, that
Thank you.
nobody else showed an interest in that market. Some of them continue to buy it and absorb each other. We see the same thing with our phone system as well. There's fewer competitors because they absorb each other, and gets down to just whoever's strongest survives. But we are asking permission now to send that out and see what response we get.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye, motion passes. Item number 12.
This item is for some portable scales that we've,
Wait, we need to have a motion first. Move to approve the surplus of the license and weight portable scales and sale to Menard County Sheriff's Office.
I'll
Second.
second that.
we've had a set of portable scales for quite some time. We replaced them once, I think, following, may have been before, just right after Harvey. But the county's configuration of roadways, the only place that we would really use portable scales that we can't bring trucks back to the weigh stations is on 136, but there's not an adequate shoulder there to safely pull a truck off and put them on the scales to weigh a truck out. Even on 136 a few years ago, we used to take them into Gregory at that weigh station that used to exist there. You can request a truck to go a reasonable amount for weight if you got to articulate your reason why you're wanting to weigh them out. Either visually the load is exposed, or you see that it's packed pretty high and it's wet. So we've got an interest from Menard County interested in buying these scales. I think the price was $8,000, but we needed to surplus them and ask permission to sell them. With the hope and expectation that that money would roll back into the license and weight budget and give us an opportunity to replace the southbound weigh scale. It's that Connex building. DPS has never been real happy with it because it's hard to heat or hard to cool. So we don't get as much use out of it. We'd like to go back to a small portable building like you see on the southbound. We'd put on the northbound where the Connex is at, and use that to offset some of that cost down the road.
Would we have to make a amendment to this to set that money aside? Because otherwise, wouldn't
I
it
don't
go
know.
into the general fund? If we put it out for bid or sell it to them?
It will go out to the, it will go into the general fund, but it would just offset the cost if they went ahead and did that immediately.
But
I mean, it'll roll into fund balance.
Should it be two separate items that we move to approve that it goes into surplus? And then they can solicit, interest from other areas to sell it? Or for the other folks to buy it? I don't know.
I was just concerned about earmarking this money because if it goes to the general fund.
And I understand that's
depending
not,
on
that's not even on the agenda, for that, but that's that's the expectation that we help down the road, and I don't know what the tool to do that would be if you may have one.
I don't know that we need to set it aside. I don't know that we have the mechanism to do that. It would go into fund balance, and we would just understand that that would be what the use would be for it, provided it's not done in the same fiscal year.
So should we amend the motion just to approve declaring it surplus?
That's how I read the motion currently, but if we want to clarify that that's the intent of the court, then absolutely. It says approve the surplus of the license and weight portable scales.
Yeah, but then it says and sale to Menard County Sheriff's Office. I mean, I'm okay either way. I just want to know what's the better legal way to do it.
I was the one that drew that up, and that was my intent, was to sell those. If we declare them surplus and then sell them to Menard County.
Right.
We would like to take that money and do that, so I understand what
So
you're.
does it have to go out for bids to sell them to Menard County?
No,
it's
it does
government
not.
business.
Part of the statute, with surplusing, you are able, as long as another governmental entity purchases them, you do not have to go for bids.
I think the motion's okay the way it is,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree.
What's the estimated cost of a new portable building, do you know? Ballpark?
It went from 8 to 10,000, so we're right there in that
Oh, okay.
ballpark.
We're in the
That's great.
ballpark.
Renee, do you have that about the same guesstimation on it?
What we think for the last.
That's good.
Yes.
Thank you.
And we understand that would be a motion we'd bring at the time that we want to change that out, but I was just spelling out what our hope was down the road with this.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye?
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye, motion passes.
Thank you.
We're going to take a 5-minute break. And during those 5 minutes, we'll get Caitlin on Zoom. She is? Okay. The meeting. Item number 13.
I move to approve a request from Aransas County Animal Control Care Services to purchase an 8-stall slide-in truck cage with a storage and exhaust fan for an 8-foot bed from Jones Trailer Company for the new 724 truck in a total amount of $10,399.58, including shipping, and authorize the county judge to execute all related documents.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. We've got Caitlin online, on Zoom.
So that's in the budget.
Caitlin, this is in your budget, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. This is what we had under the, I believe it was the maintenance line, or let me find the right
It's
wording for
going to
that.
be under the capital equipment line.
Thank you. That's what it was.
But it's in the budget. And do we need to correct the motion? It's a 6-stall slide-in?
That
Yes,
was a
sir.
question
It's a
I had.
stall slide-in for an 8-foot truck. I accidentally got typo happy when I was typing on 8.
So we
Okay,
need to,
I was gonna ask about that because
Yeah.
in the description, it talked about a 6-stall slide-in for an 8-foot bed, but that's what it is, a 6-stall slide-in?
Yes, sir. 6 stalls.
Amend your motion to say six.
Yeah, I amend my motion to say 6-stall.
I'll second the amendment.
all right, sounds good.
And then it says the completion date is 38 weeks?
Approximately 8.5 months. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Because they are going to be building it, shipping it, and then we slide it on.
So we'll get this sometime next year? In the
Yes, ma'am.
spring?
That'll
And-
be, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Is a portion of this covered by that grant that came from the community shop? Or was that for something else?
No, ma'am.
The grant was for something else then?
Yes.
And
Okay.
next year's budget has it in there, the same?
We will make sure, we were not aware it was going to be that long of a time, so we'll definitely make sure that that's in the budget.
Okay.
So
Take it
it'll
out
be
of this
placed
budget,
in
put
next
it
year's
next.
budget?
It will have to be, since we're not going to be receiving it until next year, we'll have to put it into
Okay,
next year's budget.
that was my question, okay.
But we'll probably have to make a deposit or something would come out of this year and then save the balance for next year?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All right, sounds good.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
and Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza. Sorry, got tongue-tied.
Aye, motion passes. Item number 14.
Move to approve ratifying the county judge's signature on the execution of documents for amendment number 10 in the general land office, contract number 24-065-098-C270.
Second.
Got a motion and a second.
We received the amendment by DocuSign, and they require that these be signed within 2 or 3 days. They're very rushed, so we had the judge go ahead and sign it. This is just ratifying his signature. This is giving the, actually, the C-270, which is the community building, additional time. Will be going through December. There are no new funds, but it will take it through December 31st of this year.
Do we believe that DLF is going to meet this requirement by the deadline? We're hopeful, but
Yes.
is it
That's-
realistic hope?
Yes,
That's all the time we get.
I do believe so.
GLO will not give us any more time.
I cannot speak for DLF, but realistic hope. Absolutely.
GLO wants to close it. We want to close it. Hopefully, this is it.
There, I guess there'll have to be some arrangements made. If it's not completely done, there'll be some stuff on DLF's time, on their plate.
All right.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, motion passes. Item number 15.
Move to approve the Aransas County Indigent Health Care Report for July 2026.
Good morning.
I'll second
Morning,
that.
Sarita. We got a motion and a second.
Good morning. As you can see, our We spent quite a bit this last month, but I do have several very ill clients at this time. We spent $92,164.87. You can see that in the 11th month, we have spent for the fiscal year, which actually ends this month, but we've spent $547,281.32. So we're about 5.47% into 11 months of the fiscal year, which is not bad. We're not even really close to the 4%. We're
Yeah, about
halfway.
64% of the 4%.
Yeah.
GRTL.
So we're still doing good. We have added some new clients, and I'm very happy with that because we're able to help more clients or more residents in our county, which is what we want to do in our department. And then if you look at the third page, we discussed about how many clients we're seeing in a year. So from September 1, and we're just a couple of weeks into this month, but we've got 69 clients right now. My schedule is picking up this month. I've already got 3 or 4 new clients that are coming in. If you look at the jail residents, we've taken care of about 200. It's kind of hard to really estimate exactly just due to the fact that they come in and they leave and they come in and they leave. So that's just an estimation. And then the sheriff's office budget, we've got about 240 inmates that we've paid on as well. And that too it's a little, it's just kind of an estimate, basically.
I have a question. So Indigent Health are, say, residents who come in and need services.
Yes, ma'am.
The jail indigent, people who are inmates and need services. What is the sheriff's office?
Okay, so the indigent jail inmates, when they come in, if they fill out our application and they meet the criteria of what the state mandates, then we put them automatically on the jail indigent, and that comes out of the indigent health care sales tax.
Right, but what's the sheriff's office 240?
So if they're over income, or if they have Medicaid or other insurances, or they refuse the first 30 days, we put them on the sheriff's budget and we pay the bills out of there.
So that's inmates.
Yes, ma'am. So we take care of the sheriff's inmates.
So inmates who don't qualify as indigent.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes,
But we
ma'am.
still have responsibility being there in the jail
Yes, sir, we
system.
sure do. We sure do. And we do pay their medical as far as if they have to go to the ER, if they need to see the nurse practitioner, if they need medications, if they have to go to the dentist. And we've even paid for vision for some of them because they do have problems. Now, we don't pay for glasses or lenses, but we do pay for the eye visit. Do you have any questions?
Sheriff's coming up.
I have one more thing we did a few years ago. It was challenged with the jail commission, but if they have money in commissary, would you charge them a copay?
Yes, sir. Yes,
So, I
ma'am.
mean, we try to treat them just like we do everybody out in the community. There was some resistance at first, but the jail commission backed us up on it, that if they have money in a commissary, we will charge them a copay to see the nurses or anything else that we do.
Okay.
It sounds
the
like a good
jail-
idea.
It is, and I have to say that the medical staff they have on, they're doing an excellent job. They keep in close communication with me and with Tina, and we work together really well to save the county money. Noelle has come up with some great ideas, so I want to really commend her to say that she's doing an outstanding job.
Cool, thank you.
Any questions?
No.
All righty. Thank you.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye, motion passes. Item number 16.
Move to approve proposing a 2026 total tax rate of .381634 per $100 valuation and scheduling a public hearing for Tuesday, September 8, 2026 at 8:30 a.m. and again Monday, September 14, 2026 at 8:30 a.m. And then do I read that proposed tax rate?
I'll second that.
Yes, please, because
Okay.
we need to have it Yes, it needs to
Okay.
be on record.
Proposed tax rate breakdown, general fund, M&O rate, which I think is maintenance and operations.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. 0.293172 per $100 valuation. General fund debt rate, 0.037517 per $100 valuation. Road and bridge rate, 0.045171 per $100 valuation. Flood control debt rate, 0.005774 per $100 valuation. Total proposed tax rate, 0.381634 per $100 valuation.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All right.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
In the previous years, you would round out that last number to say, right, it would be instead of 381634, you had rounded it out didn't we round it out in the past to 0?
We have the last number, but,
We always go to 6 numbers, that's why.
Oh, you
yeah.
do? I thought we went to four.
We're-
But in the past, we have dropped the last digit to make it a 0.
I remember a comment was made that to make sure we stay within that,
The voter approval rate.
right, within we stay.
We can do that if that's what y'all choose. With this being below the 5, where it will actually round down instead of up, I don't really
Think it's an
see
issue?
an issue.
Okay.
This is our voter approval rate.
Okay.
This is the rate that we have proposed in the budget. So if y'all have any other questions.
Okay.
So is it going to be rounded down, or is it just going to stay that 381634?
3-4.
Okay. Well,
Commissioner-
we had a new sheet given to us. Are we going to
That'll
talk
be
about
for the
that
next,
sometime?
next item on the agenda.
Okay.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye, motion passes. Item number 17.
Discuss and propose the 2027 budget and schedule public hearings for Tuesday, September 8, 2026 at 8:45 a.m. and Monday, September 14th, 2026 at 8:45 a.m.
Second?
We've got a motion and a second.
You did receive a sheet that shows what the proposed budget will be for general fund. The total budget was attached on, or with the agenda. The one you have now, I believe there was a change that the sheriff proposed after this that he may want to talk about. A little bit of a change which will decrease these numbers.
Okay,
Did
and-
you want to discuss that, Sheriff?
Before that, I had asked for some information, and regarding the possibility of removing the position of the Director of Community Development, since we were going to have a much reduced schedule of projects and grants. And I'd asked for what that impact would be on the budget, so I did receive this from the auditor's office. And before the salary study would be implemented, that would be a savings of $114,665. And after the salary survey, it would be a savings of $119,606. So I still have that as a proposal for us to consider in a budget change.
Well, I want to keep that position at least for this year, this coming next year, because we still have projects, we still have work that needs to be done. Someone's got to do it.
I think we have a very reduced schedule of projects going
Do we need to
forward.
take a vote on it, or what do we need?
Are you proposing an amendment right now?
All right, I'll propose an amendment to the proposed 2027 budget that we remove the Director of Community Development position as a funded position in the year 2027.
All right. Is there a second?
You need a second?
Yeah?
Do we to vote?
Okay. A second?
All right, we got a motion and a second. Any discussion? We still need this position. I'm
Yeah,
not
I-
in favor
I
of.
think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this position has been valuable to us.
Why? Or at this time, I'm thinking, I'll be honest with you, it's, right now, the only thing the county has going, we don't have any active grants that we're dealing with other than trying to close out a couple of grants. We do have the aquarium building, but I don't see the aquarium building as being a full-time, required full-time management for it. So I get, the thing is, I don't really see nothing personal on this. I will agree with Commissioner Russo. I didn't know this was coming necessarily, but I think this is we do need to look at this position and see where the value to the county is to have it.
Going forward, I'm not proposing we get rid of it in 2026. I'm just saying, in 2027, I don't believe we have a need for that position.
All right, let's go and vote.
So the vote is for the amendment
Right.
to remove the position. Commissioner Cheney?
Nay.
Commissioner Casterline?
Nay.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye?
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Nay. Amendment doesn't pass. Now we have the motion at hand on 17. Further discussion?
Well, the sheriff was going to say something?
The sheriff had,
Okay.
Actually, in a discussion that took place last week after those budget hearings, we had a position in the jail that we had interviewed to fill. I think there wasn't a real warm feeling and satisfaction among the interview staff that the people that applied were really ready to fill that position without a whole lot of training. The three people that previously held it, which would be my jail administrator, Hector, David Klinika, and we've got three people that, Duggar, that filled it, occupied it last. They're wanting to try for the next budget year to just absorb that in between the three of them. They think they can pull this off until such time as they might want to re-interview and go back out. Right now, I think they had looked at the budget and there'd be a savings of $15,000 to what we're putting out there right now, but we would not come back.
So with that change, it would take the fund balance deficit down to this $629,106.
So is a position being eliminated?
No, ma'am, we're not looking to eliminate it because I don't know how much time it's going to take on their part to pull this off, but they think they can share the duties of that until such time as they can get somebody a little bit better trained and more in line to interview for this and fill it at that time.
What
It would
duties would they be sharing again? I didn't quite understand.
It's a compliance sergeant for courts to make sure that we've got the right people, that we've got all of the packets together for the jail commission, everybody else as we move people through the judicial system. It's a position that Duggar last filled, but in the interviews and when we named Hector as a jail administrator, then Hector brought Duggar up a step to the old lieutenant position, and Klinika had cut back on his stuff with the IT and in the jail, but he's willing to come back in and absorb some of this as well because he's held the position before. The three of them just didn't feel comfortable right now awarding anybody that position, but in the budget considerations, we're going to absorb that and try to divide it among the three of them. And Hector will oversee that and make sure that we've got all the reports everywhere that Duggar was doing before, but it would drop the budget a little bit right now for what's being proposed, another $15,000.
So the savings would be from dropping that IT support officer position back to a jailer
Back to a floor position.
at the beginning.
It reclassifies the position to a lower
A lower-
pay group?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
From a what to a what?
A 22 to a 19.
And you would revisit that at another time then?
Yes, sir. It'd be probably quite a while down the road before we, we're going to work with, I think probably some of the people that did interview, work with them to try to make them more aware of the job, work on their skill sets and make sure that they were qualified to step into that. But at this time, with all the budget talk and all the requests, we thought, well, chip in a little bit here and there.
I think the sheriff has shown in his past that decisions like this that he's made that recommended have always come out good. So I would support that.
Well, you got the support of your staff, and that's the important part.
Well, and they actually sat down collectively, kind of put it together and brought it to us, and we've kicked it around for last Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and thought today would be a time to discuss it with y'all and bring y'all into the circle as well.
It actually reduced it from our last meeting, about 16 grand. That's good.
So we're looking at, what number are we looking at changing the total expenditures and use of funds? That's
I
one.
have a new sheet for you that I can give to you, and it'll show that.
And that's different from the one that was in our box? Okay.
It's a new prize every day.
Sometimes more than one.
Open the box up, you don't know what's coming out.
Thank you, Ted.
Thank you.
This is still under agenda item number 17?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. So what do we need to do here?
Nothing,
That's
just
just a-
eventually just vote on the, we're on 17, right?
Yes.
Okay.
To vote on the hearing.
Yeah, vote
Yeah.
on the hearing.
Yeah,
Proposing the
let's do it.
budget, proposing the 2027 budget and scheduling the hearings.
Okay.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye, motion passes. Item number 18.
Move to approve accounts payable liabilities.
I'll second that.
Yes, the accounts payable and payroll liabilities are normal. I would like to point out for Fund 430, we issued a check to Pape Dawson under the MIT-MOD Drainage Study Grant for $71,500. And under the courtroom project, we issued a check to Real Estate for the courtroom modifications for the benches of $20,167.72. If you have any other questions, I'd be happy to answer them, but those are the two notable ones.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye, motion passes. All right, at this time, we hear from reports from commissioners, elected officials, and department heads. Commissioner Dupnick?
Got, it was actually tied to Wings Over Rockport. Initially, Chad Mitchell, the president of the association, had was going to come before the court and remind the court that they are a nonprofit that are raising scholarship funds for locals, students who are interested in the aircraft industry, aircraft field. They are having their last breakfast, I think it's the last breakfast of the year, actually, this year, this Saturday, from 8 to 10 at the airport hangar. And they are asking everybody to come out and support them, invite them. I know the judge and myself, we've been out there. I think maybe some others have at different times. But he's just wanted to thank everybody for the support from the court and from the community for the Wings Over Rockport, and invite you to the breakfast.
Any other commissioner? All right, Ms. Anna.
Good morning. Just wanted to remind everybody, my office is closed this week. They're over there eagerly working and training already started with ACT. So next week we can open up with our new software intact and ready to go.
And I saw the ads in the paper.
Yes, and
Oh,
on
good.
Facebook, and I have a big old sign out front of the door. Hopefully they can't miss it.
Okay.
All right,
You don't
thank you,
have
Anna.
anybody knocking.
They'll be knocking.
Sheriff.
Just a reminder to everybody, next Wednesday, or this Wednesday, I'm sorry, school starts. Avoid the Live Oak area. And it usually takes about 2 or 3 weeks for that to settle down with all the new parents. With the youngest ones, they want to drop them off and walk them in rather than drop them. They're reluctant to put them on the bus, but school will start Wednesday, so be on the lookout for the school buses and all the school zones.
And I have to go to that area Thursday afternoon.
Yeah.
Thanks for the
Hey,
reminder.
Sheriff, cell phones it's any time in a school zone?
Correct. No cell phone.
No cell phones anytime in a school zone?
No, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff. All right. At this time, we hear reports about items of community interest. No action will be taken. Anybody got anything?
I do.
All right.
I went to the opening of the Museum of the Purple Heart on Saturday morning. It's at the Museum of Science and History. If you're familiar with that, it's over near where American Bank Plaza, which is now, I think, the Hilliard Center, is located in the Museum of South Texas. And it is a fabulous place. It was jam-packed. I was so glad to see so many people from the Coastal Bend come out, and I would encourage you all to get over there and take a look at that new exhibit. And then also went to the ribbon cutting for the new high school on Friday, I think.
Friday morning?
And it was fantastic. So if you get a chance to do a tour, I hope you take it.
I got to meet the teacher tonight, so I'll be there. Last kid in high school. All right. At this time, I'll take a motion to go into executive session, but I'm going to strike item number 20. We don't need to discuss that. Come on.
We are going into closed session, you said?
Yeah. Motion to go.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I move to go into closed session to consult with counsel pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.071 regarding contemplated and pending litigation related to construction contracts for the downtown Anchor project, including evaluation of the county's legal rights, remedies, and obligations under such contracts.
Second?
We got a motion and a second.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Castellane?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye, motion passes. We'll take about 10 minutes and then go into executive session. All right, we are on. Do I have a motion to go back into open session?
Move to reconvene into open session.
Second.
Okay, motion-
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye. Motion passes. We're in open session, and we don't happen to take any action discussing closed session. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye, motion passes. Thank y'all.
Yay.